Hello, this is Joe from Nerd in Korea. We are continuing our Lost Commanders series. This time we're looking at Guildpact. So this is another ravnica one. We're going to do the whole ravnica block, or this whole ravnica block, not everyone, but anyway. So yeah, we are going to check it out. Please hit like and subscribe. It makes a really big difference. And yeah, we are just a little channel still, so hopefully we can keep it going here. Okay, Guildpact. The release is in February 2006, so we're finally into 2006. And so, interesting news from 2006. One of my favorite historical events happened. Dick Cheney shot his friend in the face. It was with like a smaller pew-pew. I think it's for like hunting birds. So he was okay. The guy didn't get seriously hurt. But they did make the guy who he shot go on the news and apologize to Dick Cheney for it. Oh my god. Just ridiculous. Anyway, yeah. And Ultraviolet, the movie Ultraviolet came out with Mila Jovovich. I feel like I keep getting this confused with a Charlize Theron movie. I think I liked it. I even now that I'm like thinking about it more, I'm like, wait, most of that was the other movie. I don't know if I really even remember that movie very well. Maybe I'll have to give it another watch. I don't know. And Sudoku 5 came out. So this was a big RPG. I know a lot of people really like the Sudoku. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Sudoku, I think? Not Sudoku. Sudoku 5? This was a big RPG franchise. I never played any of these ones. I was meant to, but I never really got to them. I just kept replaying Xenogears over and over and over, which is still a good call. Anywho, the symbol. This is an iron wrought symbol, I guess is what it says. Okay, so your symbol is something made of iron? Iron can be any shape. So it's like saying, oh, this is a symbol of something that you can make out of Play-Doh. Like, Play-Doh can be any shape, so that doesn't really mean anything. I guess it was really focused on 3 guilds in this set. I'm supposed to represent the 3 guilds it's focused on. Not a fan of this one, that's all I can say. And the plane is, of course, Ravnica, because this is the second in the Ravnica block. I think we're going to be finishing up the Ravnica block. I'm not sure if it's the next one or the one after, but anyway, okay. Number 5. Boribogamos? Okay, I don't know how to say things. So this is 3 red, green. So 7 CMC. Don't worry, this is the only high CMC one on the list this time. The last list had, unfortunately, a bunch that were 8 CMC. I'm not making a habit of that or anything. It's just that set had limited options. So yeah. This is 6-7 for 7. With trample, you know what? 6-7 for 7 is not too bad. Especially when you have green in the color identity. You can at least get there pretty quick. So yeah, you've got the ramp options for it. Alright. Also, whenever he deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So that does, even in the description I put each other creature. It's not, it's just each creature, so that does include himself. He does give himself the +1/+1 counters. This is obviously a +1/+1 counter deck. What I'd really do is proliferate, right? Just go crazy with proliferate, and you can get that first counter on, and then make your whole board huge with him. So he would be an interesting one for sure. Still maybe better in the 99, I don't know. Anyway, 28 cents. Number 4. Ghost Council of Orzhova. I should practice saying these things, I always say it. Anyway, it is white, black for a 4/4. 4 CMC for a 4/4. You don't actually see that a lot in these ones. So when it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So there's a leech effect there. It's not great. But anyway. For 1 colorless, sacrifice a creature, exile it, and then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So, again, this is like a flicker thing. It's not an efficient one, though. Right? 1 mana and sacrifice a creature, even if you're making lots of tokens. This isn't super efficient. I don't know if this would be like your main, your primary strategy. You probably want to build either like, well, aristocrat, so you do have access to this, but also like life gain flicker. Kind of going 3 different directions with this one. I think you could get a solid deck out of it at least. Anyway, 28 cents. Number 3. Tybor and Lumia. So we got 2 blue-red for a 3/3, which sounds not great, but whenever you cast a blue spell, target creature you control gains flying until end of turn. Don't rely on this for your source of flying, right? But I'm going to cover that in a second. Whenever you cast a red spell, Tybor and Lumia deal 1 damage to each creature without flying. Basically, this does not have flying on its own. What you want to do is like cast a blue spell, give it flying, cast a red spell, damage everything. And what's really important is those red damage enhancers, right? Making that damage go off bigger and bigger and bigger. Still, this is somewhat limited in that it is only hitting the creatures. You want to have something where you can make it like do damage to players as well. Then that would get carried away very fast. Anyway, yes. So we're looking at a flyer, spell slinger, or cantrip, especially cantrip with this one. It's a really nice cantrip. Also wizard kindred deck. Anyway, 25 cents. Number 2. Niv Mizzet, the Fire Mind. Okay, 2 blue, red. This is a flying 4/4. 6 for a 4/4, even flyer. Still not great. Whenever you draw a card, Niv Mizzet, the Fire Mind deals 1 damage to any target. And tap to draw a card. Okay, that's actually good, right? 6 CMC for a 4/4 doesn't sound great, but yeah. He can tap to draw a card, and every time you draw a card, you're dealing a damage. This kind of flips a lot of wheel decks on their head. They're usually focused on like every time the player draws a card, they take 1 damage. Instead, you're dealing 1 damage to anything you want when you draw a card. So this is quite nice, actually, especially combined with other Niv Mizzets, because they all have a lot of effects that will like draw a card, do damage type of things. So combine this with other Niv Mizzets, and you'd have a real scary deck right there. Anyway, 80 cents. Number 1. All right. So Teysa, Orzhov Scion, 1 white-black, and sacrifice 3 white creatures, exile target creature. Whenever another black creature you control dies, create a 1/1 white spirit token with flying. So basically the main thing you want to do with this is aristocrat full on, but you want to make white and black tokens. So that when you can sacrifice them to exile something, which is then going to turn around, and because they're white and black, it will make 3 white ones, and then you can sacrifice those and exile another thing. Also, this is exile, not destroy. So anything, any creature that's a problem, gone. It's quite easy to make those tokens as well, so it'll get done. Anyway, 52 cents. Alright, before we get to the list here, I'm going to take a second and be like, sorry, is that Christina Ricci? That looks so much like Christina Ricci. I don't know. Maybe because she looks so annoyed. Just getting like Wednesday Addams vibes. Anyway. The list. Okay. Borigamos? 28 cents. Ghost Council of Orzhova? 28 cents as well. Tybor and Lumia, which I can say actually, is 25 cents. Niv Mizzet, the Firemind, is 80 cents. Teysa Orzhov Scion is 52 cents. An underrated Teysa, I think. It's just because of all the other Teysas that I think she doesn't get the love she deserves. Anyway, take it easy.